afternoon, everyone. Saturday afternoon football here in Richard L. Snowden Stadium, as today the Denver Nightwings coming in undefeated, taking on the Washington Trident, who are also undefeated. So good afternoon, everyone. Chat rolling in here, doing the play-by-play tonight, and with me again this season is none other than Alden Bleeker. Alden, good afternoon to you, buddy. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. We always end up finding our way to the same booth. It's interesting. I think we've got a great game of football on tap. Washington undefeated, Denver undefeated, and it's a stat we've highlighted as we've been discussing off mic. Denver, every time they've gone, or the last time I should say, they went 2-0 to start a season. They went all the way to the championship game and won. So Washington going to have to be very game, and so are Denver. This is going to be a close game between two very good teams.
Yeah, so as we mentioned, I mean, this is the first time that Denver started 2-0 since their season 16 title run. Washington coming in here 1-0 after beating a very good Arizona team. Two undefeated teams. Alden, what gives? What do you see as a big aspect of this game and that you're looking forward to?
Well, I mean, the run game for Washington is so spectacular, and if you look at the stats, Denver has struggled sometimes with allowing rushing yards. So I think you're going to see Washington try to poke and prod and establish that run game. And if they're able to establish that run game, then you can work Tommy Utah in and spread the ball around and just create a very dynamic attack. Denver, meanwhile, also have a great running attack. And I think you're going to see who can really establish the run game first, I think is going to be a major factor in who ultimately comes away with the win here in Denver.
And Denver, we will see that rushing attack starting off here momentarily as the ball is on the tee, and we are underway here in the Mile High City, as that's going to be received just inside the 10-yard line. And as we take a pass to 30 up to the 32, and we're going to start with a little bit of laundry, Alden.
Yeah, someone's face got jerked there. I definitely did see that, but yeah, that is great starting field position for Denver, very near the 50.
And that is going to bring out in his first season the former quarterback from Queen City, the 5-season veteran Trellis Blanton, leading his team up to the line here for the first time. 1st and 10, 3 wide set out of the single back formation. As they're going to start early aggressive with the pass over the middle. That is caught. That's a first down and more. And that is the always dependable 11-season veteran Jeremy Mosley. Let's run through this offense as Trellis Blanton is the quarterback. Former running back from Louisiana, Dwayne Sammons and Bailey O'Shaughnessy are the halfbacks. R.E. Mills, 10-season veteran, in at fullback. Jay Viper, Logan Keel, Jeremy Mosley, and Dylan Lewis are your wide receivers. Marquise Sango is the tight end. Gene Benazzi and Igor Barbatov, who comes over from Arizona, now at the tackle position, along with Marcella Martin. 1st and 10. Single left formation, and that's going to be a handoff this time. It is to O'Shaughnessy, and it's going to go up the middle for a gain of 5.
And that's something that we see all the time from great running backs in the SFL, the ability to take just the tiniest bit of daylight and thread through it like a needle to pick up 4 yards, 5 yards on a play that you would normally expect only 1 or 2.
And we'll see in that rushing attack early. 5th in the SFL is the Denver Nightwings. There's the handoff. It is to Sam as he does break a tackle, but not the second one, as that was a good tackle there by the corner. Actually, that's Albert Begin, the safety.
And that's exactly what you have to do when you suspect the run is coming and you have a team that can establish the run so well on the opposite side of the ball, is just send the pressure deep when you think a run is coming.
3rd and 2, early test here for the Nightwings. They are going to hand it off. It is to R.E. Mills, and that's a first down for Denver. They will extend their drive.
Well, that's really how Denver have been able to be so successful on the run this season, is just tempo, you know, being unafraid to hand off the ball on 3rd and shorts, on 2nd and longs. You know, they figure one of their 2 running backs is going to pick up these yards.
Yep, a 3-time All-Star, R.E. Mills at the fullback position, one of the best to do it. There's going to be the handoff to O'Shaughnessy, and gets a couple of yards on the run.
Yeah, very, as you say, and you've got to run it a fullback in the mix for those and short situations. I mean, really a 3-tier attack on the run for Denver. It is a very dangerous running attack by Denver.
2 wide receivers at the bottom of the screen. They are going to send Keel in motion. as maybe the Trident might be playing man-to-man here. Blanton drops back, looking short on the pass. That is to the man in motion. That was Keel, and they're going to get a couple yards out of that and set up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, man, and we just talked about how Denver are oftentimes unafraid to put the ball in their runners' hands on third and medium situations, and this is I form.
And they tried to bring the blitz, and it does work. The front 7 making a play, and that is going to stop this drive short on 4th down.
Well, only 2 attempts on that drive in terms of passing, both completions. But yeah, a good job stopping the run game by Washington and holding them to an attempt for 3.
Jordan Bradshaw out here for 3 points, and the kick is up, and it is good, as Denver does get their first points of the game, as the score is now 3-0, and the SFLM Season 10 is underway and returns to the Virtual Football Network Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, with Boston and San Jose searching for their first wins of the season. And in the nightcap, Philadelphia and New York fight for early season supremacy. See the SFL Stars of Tomorrow right here on the Virtual Football Network. And Alden, have you been able to check out a SFLM game?
I have, man. It feels like every class of SFLM rookies gets better and better, and it's scary to me as an offensive line player how good these pass rushers are getting.
Yeah, I mean, it's, New York really looked pretty intriguing in their first game of their existence, so excited to see how that does. But we are talking about this game right now as Tommy Utah, the former Louisiana Revolution quarterback, leading the Trident offense out for the first time from the 20-yard line, and Utah drops back, and the pressure almost getting to him, but he's thrown it across the body, and that's going to be caught. That is Terrell Cooper, and there is a flag on the play. Might be pass interference.
And he caught it anyway, is the remarkable part.
Yeah, and that was a pass interference call, as you mentioned, he did catch it. And one of those things you just don't want to see, Alden, is the quarterback throwing across the body, but Utah made it look easy.
I was going to say, but I mean, you don't want to see it, and yet he made it work. He managed to throw a dot across his body, in fact.
Yeah, the pass interference call was on Ted Haynes, the corner, as 1st and 10 here from the 47-yard line, split back set. They are going to go with the first run of the day. That is Christopher Dean, and maybe gets a yard on the play. So let's look through this Washington offense, as Tommy Utah is the quarterback. Shane Kaufman and Christopher Dean are your halfbacks. Julian Guster is the fullback. King Alexander, Johan Sutherland, Terrell Cooper, and Phil Koss are your wide receivers. Azimi Mihata is your tight end, along on the line with Robert Thump, Scott Pancake, Bill McMillan, Phil McMillan, Charles Michael on the line today, as Tommy Utah looking across the body again and finds the Terrell Cooper for the first down.
Well, maybe they saw something in the film room, because that is, as you say, the second time we've seen it. Throws across his body awkwardly, but again, his man is wide open on this sort of crossing route there. So, we'll have to keep an eye on that tendency, but maybe they saw something in the film room. Maybe you can force the defense to go this way and just kind of chuck it the other way against your body.
Yeah, passing yards, 195 last week against Arizona. And it looks like Tommy Utah coming out firing here today, as Utah drops back, looking over the middle, and that is caught right there. That is Cooper for the first down, and he has just been a man on a mission today.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic catches, but you also have to give some credit to Tommy Utah. I mean, the ball placement, the coverage from Denver has been no joke. I mean, that is effectively double coverage there. He's bumped all the way downfield, and still Tommy Utah manages to place it in that approximately mailbox size slot that we talk about, and just a perfect catch as well.
Yeah, I mean, he was already covered, I believe, from Parker Thomas. And then you had outside linebacker Jimmy Burgett right there as well. Split back formation. Utah looking, he's going to check it down. That's the Gusters, and that's going to be a gain of 5. So let's look at the Denver defense. Gerald Cumbus and Hugo Reynosa are your defensive ends. Logan Gardner and Joseph Saboka are your defensive tackles. Chuck Diesel, Jimmy Burgett, Luis Quintana, and John Martin, who's been a beast as on the outside linebacker. And Utah drops back, looking over the middle, incomplete, in and out of the hands of Phil Koss, third down.
Yeah, man, and the coverage from Denver has been extremely tight. I think it's a, not only a credit to Denver, who have been performing quite well in defense, but it's a credit to the Washington offense that they've been still able to move the ball.
Yeah, split back formation here on third down, 3 wide. As Denver may be showing the blitz here on the outside with John Martin. Let's see if he's able to take advantage, and he's going to drop back into coverage. Utah looking, fires towards the end zone, tipped away. That was almost intercepted, and it was incomplete, 4th down.
Yeah, that was Chuck Diesel, the linebacker, making, oh my goodness, an incredibly athletic play, jumping and twisting in the air. That was so tough. I mean, Tommy Utah able to throw the ball down the field quite well there, but the tight coverage by Denver eventually catching up with them, and they're going to have to settle for 3 here.
37-yard attempt here for Washington to tie this game up here early in the first quarter. The kick is up, and it is good, as James Troll, the kicker, makes it a tie ball game.
Well, and what we've seen from both these drives is that they've got their strengths going. The only thing that I would really say, if you're Washington, you want to get Shane Kaufman and Christopher Dean, the running backs, involved. But the fact that you have Tommy Utah going really kind of helps give those guys time to get started.
And that will just be received inside the end zone, as makes a little shimmy shake here, gets it past the 30. So nice little return there by Dylan Lewis, and that'll bring back this Denver offense out here. Charles Blaine only had 2 passes, but he completed those 2 passes. And we'll see if they're able to continue that here on this drive.
Yeah, and it was more about establishing the run, about three yards, give or take, for each of the three running backs and one, or 2 running backs and 1 fullback for Denver. So they've established the run game. Let's see if they can establish the pass game this drive.
Yep. Single right formation here, as they are going to toss that out to O'Shaughnessy. Breaks the tackle with a nice little spin move, but cleans it up right there as Nathaniel Diggs.
Yeah, that was looking like he was going to break that tackle and just bust open a bunch of yardage, but good coverage on the tackle there. Good defensive communication by Washington.
Yeah, they looked like they were going to go with that pitch play, and Washington was ready for it. 3 wide set here for the Nightwings, as they are going to hand it off to Sammons. Sammons breaks that first tackle, but right there, the Trident so far have been doing a pretty good job. They may break 1 tackle, but you usually see the rest of the defense right there to clean it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And it was that spin move again, trying to deceive the defense, but the defense actively communicating. That is something that defensive coaches absolutely beat into their defensive players' heads, and it's going well so far.
3rd and long out of the quad set. Roll out on a play action. That is going to be caught. That is the first down. That is Jay Viper with his first target and first catch of the game.
Well, that's a heck of a way to establish a play action pass. Run, and then a fake handoff PA to pick up the first down. And, that's something that you can do very well when your run game has been established. You can rely on your quarterback to mix some PA in there.
Not sure if that was Benazzi or Barbatov on the block, but that was a big key block to keep the pressure off, as Sammons gets the handoff going off the right tackle. And that's going to be a gain of 3.
Yeah, and it's getting the traffic is thickening up there for the Denver run game. This is something that Washington has keyed in on as something they need to adjust to.
That's a 2nd and 7. Heavy I formation set, as this is going to be a run with O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy breaks that first tackle and tries to muscle his way up, and there may be an injury on the field, and there is. That is Warner, the inside linebacker. That may not be good for the defense.
No, and yeah, Trainer's coming out. Oh boy, that's unfortunate. You never want to see one of your core defensive players go down if you're Washington. But man, Bailey O'Shaughnessy, I think I have to take a moment to give some credit to him, just continuing to fight after the first point of contact. That's, again, something that you get taught at a very young age, a very fundamental level of football, but just keeps his legs moving, and good stuff happens for him there.
Gun split spread formation here on 3rd down and 2. And it is going to be a draw run and O'Shaughnessy, but it does not work. The defense of the Trident was there as Tina began snuffed that play out.
Man, and what a stop for Washington. I mean, that is so big, and it looks like they might go for it. They might just be working the hard
Yeah.
count, though.
I love the aggressiveness. They're going to call it.
Wow.
R.E. Mills gets the first down and more. That is exactly where you want to go on a 4th and 1. Always dependable. He's been doing it for 10 seasons now. R.E. Mills with the first down carry.
And I am such a staunch supporter of going for it on 4th and short. I am absolutely thrilled to see that. Just hand it to your fullback on 4th down and short, and good things are going to happen, just as we see there.
Yeah, and great call, aggressive call there by head coach Michael Goodman. As it is going to be a toss at the outside. O'Shaughnessy's got a little bit of daylight ahead of him. There's some blocking. Gets the first down and more past the 20 up to about the 15-yard line. Good piece of running there by Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
Wow, and it is the patience by Denver this drive that we've seen. They've been trying to make that pitch handoff work, the outside handoff work, and finally, after one broken tackle, they're able to get through that second line of defense that Washington have established and bust off a big gain. This is so big for Denver to get into the red zone.
Yep, Denver's first trip inside the red zone here, 1st and 10. High spread look here. As there may be a blitz coming, and they're going to hand it off. Sammons was able to break away from him, gets a nice little run there, ends up almost gets stopped in the backfield there, almost at the line of scrimmage, and he ends up getting 5 yards.
Well, it's sort of the opposite of what we saw earlier in this play, right? Where Washington were, with one broken tackle, able to communicate defensively and blow it up in the backfield. But now Denver are becoming so elusive.
Heavy eye set here. They're going to hand it off to O'Shaughnessy and trying to muscle his way through there, but only gets a couple yards, and that's going to set up a very interesting 3rd and 3 here, Olin.
Man, it's not quite the Seahawks situation, Seahawks Patriots situation, but it's close.
High jokers here on 3rd and 3. Washington, let's see if they try to get a blitz up the middle. They're going to hand it off to them. It's going to be off tackle, and they're able to make the play there. And that was Albert Begin on another 3rd down stop.
That is such a big stop for Washington. Denver were looking like they were going to put up 6 points after really well done a drive constructed from runs, and that is going to be such a big stop by Washington to carry them into the 2nd quarter.
And that is going to do it here for the 1st quarter. A tie ball game here, 3-3. We'll be back on the Virtual Football Network. And we are back here on VFN. This is Chad Rowland and Alden Bleeker in the booth. Ramos Lynn and Phil Koss in the stats truck for us. Thank you, gentlemen, once again for all your work. And Cameron Irvine back behind the scenes, hanging out and doing all the production for us. Thank you, Cam, as Denver takes the lead here after Washington again, Alden. And Albert Begin, really, again, making a big 3rd down stop.
Yeah, absolutely. And both these teams refusing to break, even as the other offenses are able to establish the things that they do well. And man, it's really going to be a kind of one of those games where it's a chess battle. First person to make a major blunder, first team to make a major blunder is going to be the one that ultimately pays the price.
And so let's see what Washington's response will be, as they're going to take that pass of 25 down to about the 30, and we're going to go to SFL HQ for the first time with Cameron Irvine. Cam, take it away.
Thank you, Chad. This is a first. This is just simply a live look-in on Arizona-Pittsburgh, because while y'all have had all 3 drives end in field goals, the first 10 drives of Arizona-Pittsburgh have ended in punts. No turnovers, no points. Scoreless in Pitt. Back to you.
Man, I got to tell you, that's an interesting game. We'll have to definitely have Cam check in on for us, as Pittsburgh and Arizona scoreless in the 2nd quarter, as split back spread here for Washington, 1st and 10 from the 30. As Utah is going to hand that off, and it's going to be Christopher Dean up the middle for a gain of 4.
Yeah, unafraid to run it up the gut. And, you know, as we talked about, you know, you've got Tommy Utah slinging the ball, and it really affords your offense space to establish the run game. And that seems to be precisely what they've gone for, at least through one play anyhow.
Yep, we have not seen anything from Shane Kaufman until now, and doesn't get anywhere as it is going to be a big stop there. Chuck Diesel with the stop.
Yeah, and Chuck Diesel, that's the second time we've called his name. That great defensive SWAT previously and making a big tackle there. He is poised to potentially have a big day here.
Utah drops back, looking. He's going to check it down to the fullback Gusters, and that's really not going to get anywhere either, as Schreiner there on the tackle, and that's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, a bit of a curious decision to kind of go back toward the pocket, trying to find some space, and Denver, for their credit, not giving up on the pursuit there, finally finds him.
Yep, as this will be punted away by the Trident. As great punt there, taking about the 14-yard line, and they are going to get a hard hit there and bring it up to the 24. Jeremy Mosley tried to find some space, but Washington able to shut that down pretty quickly.
Yeah, that was a huge punt. I mean, almost that's effectively the same thing as a touchback on a kickoff. So it's denying Denver position. That's maybe about the best outcome you could hope for from a punt.
And the running offense here has been solid for Denver so far. Let's see if they continue that here. Bunch set formation on 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. As Blanton is going to hand that off to O'Shaughnessy and gets maybe about 5 yards on the run there, as a good tackle there by, I believe that might have been Warner.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you've got to prevent a team from doing what they do well. The run up the middle, the passing up the middle have been so huge for Denver here today.
Good to see Nicholas Warner back out on the field. Was injured earlier in the game. High Joker set here. That's going to be a handoff this time to Salmons as he breaks that first tackle, but not the second, as it's going to be just short of the 1st down. 3rd is short here for the Nightwings.
Yeah, man, tricky 3rd and short. They've done a good job establishing a little bit more of a run game this drive, and man, you have to think the run is coming, right?
Yeah, the run should be indeed, and it's going to be a handoff this time to the backup fullback. That is Massey there, gets the 1st down. That is an excellent play call in my mind, because you have been seeing out of that set the running back getting to Brock. Now you see the fullback sneaking in there for a 1st down.
Yeah, absolutely. The mental game of messing with the defense's eye level is so huge, such a skill as a coach.
Bunch set as they hand it off to O'Shaughnessy, and goes absolutely nowhere. Nicholas Warner back there for the tackle for loss.
Yeah, and the pressure going to continue to come into the backfield here.
Yeah, and I think that's a good adjustment by head coach Robert Thump there. You got to, I mean, you're seeing the run game constantly. They've only had 3 passing attempts. Bring some of that front 7 up, right? Don't just send 4. Maybe send 5, maybe 6. Let's see if they continue that trend. 2nd 11 here. 3 wide set at the top of the screen. Blanton drops back. He's going to have to get out of that pocket. He makes a quick decision and gets a few yards on that. I love the decision-making there by Charles Blanton.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great decision made to run and then slide, and to sort of augment your previous point. I mean, you send pressure into the back line, even if it's not a run. I mean, you force the quarterback to maybe make a bad decision.
There's the rollout to the right. Blanton looking down the field. It was in his hands, but out. Logan Keel with a drop, but it was broken up there by the defender. That was a great play by Mark Kaufman.
Yeah, man. And again, pressure being sent toward Tommy Utah. It forces Tommy Utah to roll out, or being sent to Trellis Blanton, and forced to roll out, forced to make a throw to the first person that's available. And, that throw is into somewhat loose double coverage, and again, into the hands and out.
And that is going to be fair caught there at the 31-yard line. And one of the things I was hoping to maybe see in Denver is there's some snow. I know where there is some snow heading, though, Alden, is in Baltimore this weekend. But you should be heading there for the SFL convention in 2025, kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th to the 14th. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency. Looking out into Baltimore's Inner Harbor, you can reserve your room now at the special group rate at simfl.net. And that is going to be a handoff to Christopher Dean. And really gets 3 yards. I thought maybe they only got 1 or 2, but a courteous 3 yards.
Yeah, that is a good omen for the start of this drive, man. And both teams have really been engaged in trench warfare, trying to pick up that yardage through the front.
Heavy split back formation here. Split wing jokers, as that's going to be a handoff, and that is going to be going nowhere. Shane Kaufman on his second attempt, and it's going to set up 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and it's turning into a war down there. I mean, literally trench warfare. This is old school football for those of you out there that are into that sort of thing.
Same formation here on 3rd and 3. They are going to send Cooper to the other side. Maybe they go with Gusters here on a fullback dive. Nope, they're going to go to Dean as Dean breaks 1 tackle, but not the second, as Chuck Diesel was able to clean it up. John Martin was there to stop it. Diesel was there to clean it up, Alton.
And it's Chuck Diesel who is getting these crucial stops. We saw that big swat earlier in the game, tackles for loss. Man, Chuck Diesel is very quietly having a great defensive performance.
Chuck Diesel coming over here from Louisiana, as he was a season 15 All-Star. That's how long Chuck Diesel has been doing it very strong here in the SFL, as Mosley takes a spin move and gets it past the 20, and Diesel now helping anchor that #1 rushing defense in the SFL, as now the Nightwing offense is hoping to come out and add some points to the board.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a real fight for both of these teams. 0 touchdowns, both these teams having had to settle for field goals, and it's been because both defenses have really been locked in, I believe.
Yeah, this second quarter has really been a defensive battle, right? You saw back and forth trading of possessions and field goals in the first quarter. Now it's just been locked down ever since, as single left doubles left here on first down, as that's going to be a toss over the Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Breaks that first tackle and gets a nice run there of 7 yards.
Man, and that is just some fantastic stick-to-itiveness there.
Yep, as it's going to set up a nice little 2nd and 3 here. So the playbook wide open here for head coach Michael Goodman. As offset eye, they're going to hand it off. This time it is to Ari Mills, and he gets the first down. And I just love Ari Mills when he runs the football. He's been doing it for quite some time here, Alden.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to see it again here. Just that toughness. You keep the legs moving. That is such a core foundational skill as a runner. And man, he shows it off there to get across the line.
I mean, all 3 runners in Denver so far averaging over 4 yards a carry in this game, as Bailey O'Shaughnessy gets the call, and he's going to get 8 yards on the run, and that's going to be a nice little chunk of yardage there for the Nightwings.
Yeah, and picking it up in chunks, as we say, that ground warfare mentality, you gotta keep pressing both sides of the ball, defense and offense. And man, Bailey O'Shaughnessy has crossed the 50-yard mark there.
And that's what you got to do. You got some experience at the tackle position on both sides. Run towards them, guys, as R.E. Mills again getting that short yardage situation and gets another first down.
Yeah, I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Picking up chunk yardage and then diving across the line, it seems to be working for Denver, and it's really extending these drives for them.
3 wide set here, as they are going to hand it off up the middle. Goes Bailey O'Shaughnessy and gets a 6-yard gain there. And they are just right now, the goal is to just wear this defense down early in the ballgame.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep them on their back foot. And not only that, if you manage your time correctly, I mean, Washington gets the ball back, but you could potentially get the last score of the half here.
Yep, and Denver did start with the ball, and that's a good defensive play right there, as that was Kappa Jones, the inside linebacker there.
Yeah, and they're going to need another one of those here for Washington. You got Tommy... Travis Blanton is such a good quarterback. He can throw it or they can pass it. This is so tricky.
3rd and 5. Deep drop's going to look over to the side, and that was intended for Jay Viper. Incomplete. I believe Nicholas Warner right there deflected it away, as it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, 4th and way too long for a field goal. So I believe we're going to see our second punt of the game here.
Yep, indeed, we are going to see the second punt here from Denver, as hoping to try to pin Washington deep so they have a pretty good length of the field to go on. As it looks like a good, nice bounce there, as that is going to be inside the 15, down at probably the 14-yard line. So 86 yards that Washington's going to have to go to get 7.
Yeah, not inside the 5 like you daydream about, but that is a very efficient punt, keeping them inside the 20.
Yep, definitely got a nice little Denver bounce there for the punter, as split spread formation here for the Trident. As you can see, 160 total yards in this game so far for Washington, as that's going to be a handoff to Christopher Dean. It's going to go nowhere. Chuck Diesel once again makes the stop.
Chuck Diesel, if we had to give it to a defensive player right now, has been one of the defensive performers of the game for Denver.
And we're going to hit the 2-minute warning here in the Mile High City. We'll be right back here on the Virtual Football Network. And we are back here on VFN. Chad Rowland, Alden Bleeker here in the Mile High City in the booth, as Ramos Lynn and Phil Koss are in the stats truck, and Cameron Irvine doing the handiwork in the back, including putting up the team stats right there. As you can see, 144 total yards so far for Denver compared to 76 for the Trident.
Of which, and this is notable, of which over 100 is rushing yards. So, clearly that trench warfare mentality has been working for Denver. 8 first downs gained, and again, it's because the offense has been working so well on the ground.
And Shane Kaufman's going to get his first nice run of the game, and he breaks that tackle, and he may be gone. He's going to get past the 40 down to the 30, but the defense catching up to him. I think that was a defensive end that actually Gerald Gumbus coming back and making a tackle. What a display of athleticism. But let's talk about the run here, Alden.
Yeah, the big man making the big athletic play, but it's that broken tackle, and Kaufman's got that mentality of, I'm just going to turn on the Jets and I'm gone. Does get caught up to there, but that is what we were talking about. Washington have a great run game, and if you sleep on them, they can do things just like that.
And there's going to be a draw play this time to Christopher Dean, and that was a 43-yard run there by Shane Kaufman, the longest play from scrimmage in this ball game so far. And yeah, I mean, the run was impressive, but I still think Gerald Gumbus coming in as a defensive end was really impressive as well.
Listen, we all love when a big man makes a play. I mean, no matter even if it's against your team, you just kind of tip the cap.
Yep, tip the cap indeed, as Sutherland is going to be the man in motion. As you're going to see Ted Haynes follow. Utah rolls out to his left. He's got time. Looking over the middle. That is going to be caught. That is a first down and more. And that is the Azimi Mihata with his first catch for 22 yards.
That is such a fantastic pass, and it's because the run game has been working so well, and it just creates the space up the middle there from the pressure being sent.
Washington coming out in the gun for the first time. Sends a man in motion. He does have a back on his right. That is Christopher Dean. Utah. Deep drop. He's going to look. He's going to find Dean on a screen route, and that may be over for a touchdown, but Chuck Diesel saves him from getting 7, and now they're going to go no huddle here with 45 seconds to go.
But they found a mismatch. I think they found a mismatch on the outside, the right side.
Out of the gun. They're going to look over, and that is going to be caught. He was out of the end zone, but Cooper trying to get in there, and he does. Touchdown, Terrell Cooper muscling his way through that Denver defense.
Wow, well, it took us a while to get that first touchdown, but Washington really showed what you need to do in a game like this where the frontline defense is so tough. They kept being patient with the run game, finally made 2 big developments, and that allowed them to set up Tommy Utah for the touchdown pass. Looked like it was going to be a mismatch on the outside that did it, but finally just finds space up the middle, and he throws a dot. What a great touchdown drive by Washington.
And Troll getting the kick, the first extra point of the game. Washington scoring the first touchdown of the game and taking the lead. One thing I wanted to point out that I noticed in that play, Alden, was Terrell Cooper caught that ball outside of the end zone. He was one-on-one trying to
Yeah.
hit with John Martin. Hugo Reynosa, the veteran, coming in and makes the tackle and actually tackled him into the end zone. So kind of not a good play there by Hugo Reynosa.
Yeah, you got to like get inside the end zone, like make that your territory when you're going to make a tackle like that.
As now we're going to see how aggressive Denver wants to be, as 36 seconds to go here in the second quarter, as they are going to go bunch set from the 20-yard line. And they are going to hand this off to O'Shaughnessy. Gets caught up, and that's going to be Nicholas Warner getting back there again on a tackle for loss. And I think Denver's just going to let this run into the half.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, man, and what a great drive, as we said, to finally get things up on the board for Washington. I think that completely changes the mood of your halftime talk.
Oh, absolutely. And Washington getting the ball back at the beginning of the third quarter. They can even go, double up on that. Let's see what the last play of the first half is going to be here, as Blanton drops back, the offensive line holding. He gets hit as he throws, and that's going to be incomplete. And that will do it here for the first half of football, as Washington, on the last drive there in the second quarter, gets their first touchdown of the game and takes the lead 10-6 at halftime. Alden, this has been a defensive battle. Give us your thoughts of the first half.
Yeah, absolutely a defensive battle. Both teams struggling to find space, but it was the big run by Shane Kaufman there in the latter part of the second half that set up Tommy Utah for the touchdown pass. And I think we got to look at Tommy Utah as a big focus of the offense for Washington going forward. 8 out of 10, just about 10 yards per passing attempt with a touchdown, quarterback rating in the 130s. I think if he continues to put his foot on the gas and the run game puts their foot on the gas, Washington have got a very good chance in this game.
Yep, and as you can see there, Terrell Cooper being mentioned as the player of the first half. And Cooper, 4 catches for 57 yards and a touchdown so far in this game. And I agree with you absolutely. I mean, the Washington offense, the passing offense has been very effective in certain situations. They got that big run there by Shane Kaufman on that drive as well to help extend that and get them into closer range.
And
but
just to put that in perspective, that jumped his yards per carry all the way up into the 15. So,
yep.
They're going to be looking for more explosive runs like that to just exploit the space.
Yep, and let's see what they could do here. Washington got the last score of the first half. They have an opportunity to double that up here in the third quarter as Tommy Utah leads his team back out, as Alden mentioned earlier. 8 of 10 for 93 yards and a touchdown. As you can see there, the team stats are pretty split when it comes to total yards.
Yeah, well, and it was there was a disparity there. The last time we saw these numbers in the last half, Denver were up significantly, but those big yards gained by Washington have pulled it back even.
Yep, as Christopher Dean's able to break a tackle with John Martin. Dean had some daylight in front of him, but Martin catching up there, getting the first down.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see on a run if you're Washington. Just finds the tiniest little bit of space, breaks a tackle, gets across the line, well across the line, a good 2-3 yards across the line. And man, that is a scary situation for Denver if they can continuously pull off runs like that.
Yep, Christopher Dean with 8 carries for 28 yards. That is Shane Kaufman getting a nice gain of 8 yards.
Man, and the run game from Washington, that halftime talk clearly keyed into something, because Washington have been mostly working in chunk yards, and now their offense, their run offense has really been able to dictate so far.
Yeah, I mean, Washington 83 total yards so far. Denver usually giving up under 40 yards per game, as Burgett right there making what I believe is his first tackle. Jimmy Burgett, I believe he was a undrafted player, if I remember right. No, actually, he was drafted second round, 30th overall in the past SFL draft.
Wow.
So you got 3rd and inches here for the Trident, as that is going to be a handoff to Kaufman. He gets caught up in the line, but Denver's front seven right there by John Martin makes the stop, 4th down.
And 3rd and inches is an expression, but I believe that may have quite literally been based on the spot, 3rd and less than a foot. Man, and punting is the instinct, but you got to go for it, right? Like, I know I'm a very loud advocate for going for it on fourth, but 4th and 1 is so doable when your run game is on.
And Mosley there breaking the tackle and getting up to 36. And yeah, that's always the interesting question if you try to go for it there, but it may be
Then you
just a
put 'em-
little too early.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and the field position that you potentially give up, you put them in field goal. Okay, it's
Yep.
just me being loud and aggressive. I take it back. I take it
Yep,
back.
you're very aggressive, which I like. So there you go. Like you're in the same mindset as I am, as we talked before. Like
Mhm.
I'm all for aggressiveness, but yeah, in that situation, I think you're giving up a lot of
Too
field
soon.
positions.
That's true.
Yep. Empty set here for the Night Wings as Blanton drops back. He's going to motion to his left a little bit, looking deep, and that is going to be caught. That is Jeremy Mosley down past the 25 and down to the 17-yard line. 1st and 10. What a play by Denver to open up their drive.
And that is just such a clinical pass there. It's what you hear all the time, what you teach your quarterbacks, run through the route trees, and he finds a man on a go route that is just completely open. Mosley forcing the defense to react to him after that fantastic passing catch, and he was threatening to go all the way to the house. Deep in the red zone are Denver now.
I mean, 7-season veteran Mark Kaufman I'm not sure if he was just trying to see where the ball was or not, but just went right over the top of Mark Kaufman there as Blanton drops back. He's going to motion to his left and looks and tipped away, incomplete. That was almost intercepted. That was John DeSantis there on the deflection.
Yeah, that was a good idea. You certainly see what he was going for, a touchdown pass in the back of the end zone there, but just underthrew it ever so slightly into a very dangerous position.
I think that Blanton has actually thrown for more in this drive than he did the whole first half.
I believe you're right, yeah.
Yeah, Denver coming out a little aggressive here. Let's see if maybe they try to go back to the run game now that they're inside the 20-yard line. 2nd and 10. As they are going to go back to that run game, it's Bailey O'Shaughnessy. Gets them a little bit closer. That's going to be down to the 6, and that's going to set up 3rd and 5.
And 3rd and medium, you got a quarterback that can pass. You've also got a run game that's really going. These are the situations that make an SFL coach, that differentiates between a good SFL coach and a great SFL coach.
3rd and 5 here for the Night Wings. 3-wide set. As Blanton's going to drop back and look. He's going to tipped away. That was, I don't know if that was deflected at the line or if he got hit as he threw, but regardless, it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, that got tipped lazily up into the air. That would have been, oh man, such a bad interception, a bad feeling interception if you're a quarterback. But what a great job by Washington to hold Denver yet again.
And Bradshaw coming out here to get his 3rd field goal of the game. The kick is up and it is good. So one thing that we can say, Constant, is that Washington's red zone defense has stepped up today, Alden.
Yeah, absolutely. Red zone defense. And that's the thing, bend don't break. You still got to bend, but Washington have held the lead. They've kept Denver out of the end zone. And quite frankly, there were 2 passes there that looked like they were going to be touchdown passes. So you got to give credit to Washington there.
Yeah, if they had that deep pass to Mosley, thought maybe he might have gotten the rest of it, but did not. And then that one that was tipped away there right after that play. So let's see how Washington responds. Denver cutting that lead into a 1-point game here as the offense for the Trident coming back out. The last time they were out, they had to punt it away there, but they did get a score before the end of the first half. So let's see if they can split pro formation here for the Trident. As that's going to be a handoff to Christopher Dean, and that is going to be stopped, and that's going to just be a couple yards. Jimmy Burgett there with the tackle.
And again, it's the pressure into the backfield that seems to be the decision, or the way that Denver have handled or attempted to handle the run game by Washington. Send pressure into the backfield, and worst case scenario, you put pressure on the quarterback to potentially make a bad decision.
Twins formation here as Kaufman breaks the first tackle, but not the second. And that was Lucas DeVore there with the tackle. That's going to be 3rd and 4.
First time we've called his name this game, but yeah, man, Denver really trying to lock in. A 3-and-out would be so huge for them here.
Yeah, 3rd and 4, split spread formation. As Utah is going to drop back. He's going to hit the fullback, and that is going to be a first down. Muscling his way in there is Julian Gusters.
Well, usually it's the running back that SFL teams send over to be part of those screen passes. But Tommy Utah, 100 yards and a touchdown game. He has had a very efficient offensive game here today.
Yeah, 6'7", 265, Julian Gusters. That's a monster of fullback. He rolls out to the left, finds his man. That's going to be the first down. What a throw there to King Alexander.
Yeah, a jump ball in the air. And, you know, we know people know that it is not as easy as it looks, but to place that ball so perfectly, man, those hands, just a mailbox size slot for you to put the ball in, really just demonstrates how effective Tommy Utah has been as a passer today and throughout his SFL career.
Twins look here for the Trident. Denver showing blitz. As Utah drops back, looking, and that is going to be caught. That is Alexander with his second catch in a row, and that's going to be another first down.
And that is quarterback vision and receiver vision all day there. The coverage there was correctly drawn there one-on-one, but just the tiniest little bit of space created. You saw he just takes a little bit of a step back, and it creates just enough space for Tommy Utah to sling that to the right side. A great tackle in response, but man, what a pitch and catch as well.
Yep, as the defensive line shift there for Denver, trying to stop that middle. They guessed correctly, and that's going to help them as they get a gain of 2. Chuck Diesel there on the stop.
Throwing the hip check, and man, Chuck Diesel is really showing all kinds of effort on defense for Denver.
It was like as if the Denver front four knew what was going to happen there. As Utah drops back, he's going to motion to his left. He's going to take off, and this is going to be his first attempt at least, and it's going to be a good one as he gets down just short of the first down.
Yeah, you always advise your quarterbacks to slide. Last thing you want is them to get hit and get hurt, but he decides he's going to go fully commit like a running back. Just try to use whatever agility you can to try to get across the line there.
Heavy I formation here. They're going to hand it off to Christopher Dean, and he does get the first down and more as he gets past the 20 up to the 16-yard line. That's a first down there for the Trident.
And it's Washington looking good again. They haven't had that huge explosive run like they got previously to set up the touchdown drive, but they have looked so good. I mean, man, they struggled to pick up points in the first half, but they are driving pretty much every time they have the ball in their hands here.
Yep, split spread here. Look for the Trident. As Sutherland going in motion. 3:40 to go here in the third quarter. Looking towards the end zone. Tipped away. That is going to be incomplete. That was intended, I believe, for Sutherland.
A big SWAT, and this is the part for Denver that you got to overcome, whether it's running or passing. The fact that they've got pressure sending your way as the quarterback, and then they've got such tight coverage down the field. It makes it very difficult in the red zone.
Offset eye look here for the Trident. Utah drops back. He's going to look over the middle. That is going to be tipped away, almost intercepted. A bunch of Nightwings right there, intended for Mihata.
Yeah, and again, it's a great route, just creating the space. But again, because the coverage is so tight down the field, just not able to pull it in.
A great defensive play there by Tank Bennett. We have not really called his name tonight, but Tank Bennett coming over from Louisiana as well. 14 season veteran, 5-time All-Star, and Defensive Player of the Year is season 15. As 3rd and 10, empty set here for the Trident. Utah dropping, prep pocket, collapsing around him, but almost intercepted. Parker Thomas had the opportunity and dropped it.
Yeah, man, and that is Denver. All effort on defense has been the motto. Effort, and we saw again there. That is just a pure eyeball play, reading where the ball is going to go, recognizing, hey, maybe I drop out of coverage and just make a play to swat on the ball, and almost gets an interception for making that decision.
Yeah, Parker Thomas, a 12-season veteran, 2nd season here in Denver. Played in Arizona at one point, and I always remember Arizona owner Eddie Gage talking about Parker Thomas being the best slot corner in the SFL, as Washington with an opportunity to extend their lead, and they do. So 13-9 after that 12-play, 65-yard drive. Washington up 13-9.
Yeah, and Washington continuing to show the improvement that they have throughout the first half. As I said, they really struggled a bit, in that first half in terms of getting the ball way downfield. They were able to get some field goals, but not really convert. I think Washington have looked so improved. Tommy Utah absolutely slinging his receivers all in the mix, and I think that's a good omen for them going forward.
And Moses going to pass the 25, pass the 30, up to the 32, where Denver will start this drive. And how many likes do we have on this video so far? I'm pretty sure it's probably not enough. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Make sure you've got notifications on so you won't miss a minute of the SFL and SFLM action, and help the channel grow through your support. So you're not doing anything with your thumb anyway. You're just watching the game. Smash that like button. All you guys out there twiddling your thumbs, I'm sure you could just twiddle towards the like button. As 3 wide set here for the Nightwings from the 32-yard line. As they are going to toss that to the outside. This time it goes to Dwayne Salmons as he gets a gain of 5 on the run.
Yeah, great execution of the pitch play, spinning toward the outside with the first contact. And again, as we say, SFL running backs, they have the ability to not only exploit the space, but, keep fighting, stay up, and pick up another 2-3 yards out of, a play that gets blown up.
Bailey O'Shaughnessy with a nice juke move to the outside, and he gets a first down and more. That's a nice agility and juke move there by Bailey O'Shaughnessy.
And just as I say it, SFL, the agility, the ability to think on the fly. I like to imagine SFL running backs get the ball in their hand and it's just like slow motion. They're like shaking their head side to side, reading the play. Bailey O'Shaughnessy crosses the 75-yard mark there. He's had quite a day.
Albert McGinn, formerly from Arizona, coming over here in his first season in Washington, got juked almost out of his shoes there. As 4 wide here, as Dwayne Salmons is going to take that run. Ooh. That's going to be a nice gain for him as he gets 9 yards.
Got hit with the spear right on the goal line there, and came all the way around to make that hit. Did number 24? That is
Albert McGinn.
Yeah, Albert McGinn, and that is just fantastic reaction to stop him short.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit of frustration after getting his shoes juked out of him by Bailey O'Shaughnessy. There's the handoff to O'Shaughnessy this time. He does get the first down and a little bit more. And there is an injury on the field, and that is going to be the free safety, Willie Bands.
Oof.
So hopefully Willie Bands will be okay.
Yeah,
as he walks off to his own power.
Washington did have a player go down with an injury and come back, so going off under his own power, you certainly hope it's the same circumstance, because you don't want either team to have to lose because of lost players. I mean, this has been such a good, enjoyable back and forth game.
Eye spread look here for the Nightwings. 1st and 10, 1:51 to go here in the third quarter as they hand off to Dwayne Salmons, and that's going to be stopped. Maybe gets a yard on the play. That's Nick Warner there with the tackle.
Yeah, big stop there, and man, it is so scary when you see the other team's running backs just juke your defenders out of their shoes. And oh man, this is such a tough reaction from Washington.
Blanton drops back, pressure trying to get to him. He's going to just hit the check down there to O'Shaughnessy, and O'Shaughnessy gets a first down, Alden, and I don't know, he may have stepped out of bounds back there.
I was going to say, the refs certainly have a better angle than we do. We can maybe take a look here.
Ooh, he stepped out. He stepped out right there.
I would not be surprised if we see some red line, some laundry coming down from the sideline there. That is, I believe, based on the angle we saw, we're certainly going to hopefully see another angle here.
Well, let's take a retroactive look at the play. Get your console to play the SFL on the go at GoRetroid.com, as we're going to see that challenge. I mean, in my mind, he clearly stepped out right there. Right there.
His full foot is out. Yeah, that's not even like an edge case.
Yeah, so he should be down about the 35-yard line, but let's see what the refs say. Yep. So
Well,
the
that
Trident will
is
not be charged.
Yeah, and that is a fantastic job spotting that by Robert Thump. Man, yeah, and that third and six versus a first down conversion on second makes so much of a difference. Wow, this is suddenly so much of a tougher position for
Yep.
Denver to be in.
This is really kind of a big moment here so far in this game for the Nightwings, trying to extend this drive to hopefully take the lead. They're going to hand it off to Dwayne Simmons, and he gets stopped right there.
Oof.
That is Warner, who has been just making the run game stop for Denver tonight. Gets another big third down stop.
Yeah, absolutely. As you say, the pressure has been coming, and Bradshaw going to be 3 for 3 along of 44. This would be his longest from the midfield mark here.
So Bradshaw going for his fourth field goal, and it's up, and it is just sneaks in. Man, I'll tell you what, I didn't think he was going to sneak back in there for a minute, Alden.
The winter winds here in Denver playing tricks on him, but just enough carry from side to side to get him there.
Oof. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he might have needed the Santa Ana wins to help him push that into a little bit better situation. But man, I'll tell you, like he snuck that one in there. So Bradshaw inching closer again. It has been the Bradshaw show when it comes to scoring for Denver so far, as he does have all 12 points.
And been keeping it close. I mean, it's really been a defensive battle in both offenses trying to break through the respective brick wall that they're up against. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. It's been a brick wall of defense, whether it's upfield or in the red zone.
Well, that brings out Tommy Utah, 11 of 16, 135 yards and a touchdown tonight here for the Trident passing offense. As that is going to be a handoff and goes nowhere. The front seven there makes a stop. And we're going to go to SFL HQ again. Let's see if Arizona-Pittsburgh scored. Cam, take it away.
Yeah, they certainly have. At least one side has, Chad. It's been a slog today, but Arizona finally starting to pull away from the Riverhogs. Ashley Jackson to Bismarck Wright walks in untouched. 17-0 Arizona. Back to you.
Yep, and Kaufman's going to get a gain of 4 on that and make it 3rd and 6. So interesting to see Arizona bouncing back after their first loss of the season to Washington.
Well, yeah, and it really shows that this Arizona team that they beat are no slouches. So I think after this game, no matter what, you got to look at Washington as potential threats no matter who they're up against.
Yep, split spread look here. Utah drops back. He's going to go to his right side. The pressure's following him, but he's going to get away. First down and more. Does not slide. Kind of a bold move, Cotton, as Tommy Utah gets the first and more.
But it did pay off. It's to continue that quote. It did in fact pay off for him this time. Again, you slide right about there, but he ends up picking up about 2-3 yards additional as a result.
And that play will do it here for the end of the third quarter. Washington and Denver. This is a close one. If you like defense, come on back to watch this. We'll be back on the Virtual Football Network. And you're watching Simulation Football League action here on the Virtual Football Network, the official network of the SFLM, SFL, UFL, and so much more coming to Virtual Network, where all the best virtual football lives. As I-twin set here for Utah. Drops back. He's got time looking, and he finds King Alexander. That's going to be a first down. Nice footwork there by the young man.
Yeah, absolutely. Stood like a statue on the sidelines as he caught that pass. That was so close to being out of bounds. Man, that is a fantastic pitch and catch. And how many times have we said that tonight? I mean, Tommy Utah has just been fantastic. Both these teams extremely even in numbers, and man, it's going to come down to the finish line, I do believe.
Yep, split spread look here for the Trident, as they are going to hand it off. It is going to be to Shane Kaufman and John Martin right there to make the stop, a gain of 2.
Yeah, man, and you just lose your breath a little bit every time one of these run plays happens or a pass play happens, because we're getting into that part of the game where every single play feels that much more significant.
Yep, 2nd and 8 here for Washington. As you can see, the last 10 attempts there by Utah, 7 of 10 for 92 yards and a touchdown. Incredible. As they are going to send a man in motion. Utah looking. He's got time. Offensive line holding good, and he finds Alexander over the middle. That's a first down, about to the 28-yard line. And I'm telling you, as you mentioned, I mean, Trident offense looking really good against this Denver defense.
Yeah, and Denver have been no slouches. I mean, they've been running single coverage, man coverage, zone coverage, double coverage. I mean, the coverage has been fantastic by Denver, so all credit to them. But Tommy Utah has managed to put up 170 yards. I mean, it just shows his ability to throw and his football IQ just both on display here today.
Utah pressure getting to him. That is incomplete. And that was intended for Yohan Sutherland. One thing I want to bring up, Alden, and I want you to touch on this, is Denver's defense. They've given up 3 points a game, which is first. They're 7th against the pass, 1st against the run, 3rd against total yards, 1st in takeaways, and 1st turnover differential. And Washington has made this look not like that tonight. Split back formation here as Trident looking over, and that is going to be caught. That's going to be first down, and that is Terrell Cooper.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think it's way too early to assign this nickname to them, but Washington have really looked like giant killers almost this season so far. I mean, you take your game plan into someone else's house and you manage to put them on the back foot, make them play your game. And I think if Washington continue that, I think they just have such fantastic coaching that really the whole any given Sunday mentality is very, very warranted for Washington.
And it's going to be a hit off to Christopher Dean, but John Martin stands him up. That's going to be 2nd and goal.
But this is where both teams have really been tough. I mean, both defensive units have been red zone warriors here today.
Yeah, one of the things we'll mention here after this play here momentarily, 2nd and goal, I-twin set. That is going to be a handoff to Shane Kaufman. He gets to the first part of the line, but not the second, as it's going to get down to the 5-yard line. And for all we're talking about with Washington's offense, Denver is still only 1 point out of this.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what I mean. You hold someone to 3, it's still a 1-score game, even if they have the lead. So even if Denver score a field goal, I mean you still keep it so close.
5 wide set here, looking in back of the end zone. That is caught. That is a touchdown for Washington. What a pitch and catch there. That is Mihata, the tight end, and Washington extends their lead.
That is such a big scoring conversion for Washington, man. And there is just nobody around Tommy Utah. Tommy Utah with the vision to spot that perfectly in the right place, in the right time. Washington are going to take a huge, huge lead here.
I mean, surprisingly, I would assume that, and I didn't see, maybe I'll have to go back and watch a replay later, but not sure if Denver was in the dime formation or not there, but it just nobody took account for Mihata out of there, and he gets his 2nd catch of the game, and it's a big one for a touchdown.
Yeah, if those are the only 2 catches you get, that's a good game as far as I'm concerned. I'm hanging that game photo up on my wall.
And so now we're going to see Denver's offense here. I mean, granted, they're only down 8. It's just a 1-score lead with a 2-point conversion, so would love to see an aggressiveness coming out here for Trellis Blanton. 5 of 10 so far for 94 yards.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you and I very much share a philosophy in terms of being pro-aggression, and certainly we're going to have to see it here because, there's 7 minutes in the 4th, but that time is going to run down quicker than anyone thinks.
Yep, as Charles Blanton in that offset eye, he's going to looking aggressive, and he's going to be incomplete. That was almost in the hands, but right there, breaking it up was John DeSantis.
And that's exactly what you've got to do. You got to be patient so you don't get, an early hit and get a pass interference call, but you have got to prevent the ball from going downfield by any means necessary. That is the key here. And then you get the ball back and run the clock down. That is the game plan for Washington.
Love to see if they do a run here, and they're not going to. He drops back looking, and he finds Jeremy Mosley. What do I know? That's a first down.
Yeah, and it was, again, just the patience in the pocket, finds the time, and just a little crossing route up the middle that kind of dissected what was double coverage being attempted to be set up there.
Yeah, I wanted to really just see the run because if they could set themselves up better for 3rd down, but Michael Goodman said, nope, I'm just going to go for the first right here. 3 wide set. And that's going to be a toss to the outside to Bailey O'Shaughnessy, and that's going to just be a very generous 4 yards there for O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, Charles Blanton has, as we saw the stat on screen there, has been struggling a little bit to make completions. And again, it has everything to do with the coverage of Washington. I mean, neither of these quarterbacks are slouches.
Yep, it's going to be 2nd and 6 here as they are going to send a man in motion. As that is going to be an inside toss to R.E. Mills. And for the first time today, no positive yardage there for R.E. Mills.
Yeah, man, and this is a tough 3rd and medium because it's hard to say if you're going to get the ball back. Oh man, this is you got to be aggressive.
This is the down for Denver, I believe.
This is huge. Formation. This is huge.
Blanton drops back. He's going to look and finds Logan Keel. This time he holds on to it, gets the first down past midfield.
That is such a big conversion, as we said, for Denver. If you give up the ball there, I mean, Washington are going to drain the clock. Man, they get it to at least the 2-minute warning and then maybe get conversions. And that is just so big for Denver to continue your drive. This could be Denver's last chance with the ball, potentially.
Yep, absolutely. As Blanton's going to drop back again. Pressure coming down to him, and they take him down. That's the first time tonight as King McNeely there with his first sack of the night.
And the offensive line has been so good all game long for Denver, but it's just a little case of one swim move, the strength and the agility combining for the big man there.
Yep, King, that first time we've gotten to Blanton tonight, King McNeely provides that first sack as Blanton drops back. He's going to have to motion to his left a little bit to get away from the pressure. Down the field and almost intercepted. I don't even think he had enough arm to get it there, but John DeSantis could have made a big play there.
Yeah, man. Oh, and they're 3rd and 14. They're going to have to heave it here. I mean, there's everyone in the stadium knows it's coming.
This is 4-down territory.
Absolutely, unequivocally.
This is 4-down territory. 4 wide set here for the Night Wings. Blanton looking, fires, and that's going to be caught. That's Jay Viper over the middle of the field, past the 20 down. Inside the 10-yard line to the 8. And how do you not account for the speedy Jay Viper?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got to find up the middle. You've got to find that. Oh, man. And he just blows by his coverage there, and not a second of hesitation by Trellis Blanton there.
And that was against the 4th overall pick, Maxwell Quimby, a rookie. I mean, you know, Jay Viper's been in this league for a little bit of seasons now, and makes the rookie pay with a mistake there. As Denver. It is inside on the 6-yard line. Heavy I formation set here. Blanton seeing something. He's going to change it at the line.
Denver coming alive in chat.
And that is a play action pass. Not sure about that play call there.
Ooh.
And it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, trying to get the ball in Shaughnessy's hand. So I certainly see the logic of it, but yeah, odd execution there.
Yeah, especially down inside the 10-yard line, and you know that Washington is probably going to bring some sort of blitz, and they did. As Blanton drops back, pressure get to him again, and down he goes. That's the 2nd sack, and that is Doug Howard there on the stop.
Man, this is so tough if you're Denver, forced into another 3rd and long. Washington are not going to give up a single point easily, not at this point of the game.
No, 3:37 to go, 3rd and goal. As we've already mentioned, this has to be 4-down territory. Denver, interestingly enough, coming out in that 5-wide set. Let's see if Washington's ready for it. Blanton drops back, pressure getting to him. He's going to fire. It was in the hands of Jay Viper, but that was incomplete as it was knocked away by the defender. And Alden, as we mentioned, you got to go for it here on 4th down.
You've got to. I mean, you're not going to get that. At this point, you've gone from maybe a fringe case. You get the ball back if you get a 3 and out. You're not getting the ball back now.
And here we go.
This is your last dance. This is the last dance. This is the last stand.
Situation, 8 points they need, 4-wide set. Blanton, can he do it? Pressure, getting to him. He's going to jump quickly. That is a touchdown to Logan Keel. And Blanton with the veins, the ice in his veins, making the big play.
I am standing up because this has just set up an explosive finish to this game. It's a great pitch and catch. That is just what they were looking for. Free to run on the, oh man, and what a catch, a one-handed stab.
man, what a play. So now you have to go for 2. Here we are, going for 2 points.
You can feel the air has just left the stadium. Everyone holding their
everybody
breath.
is on their feet, including me and Alden, and I'm sure that Ramos and Phil Costa are in the stats truck waiting. It is going to be a hit off the... Oh, it's a fake! He's going to hit! Oh, incomplete! Oh. And what a play! What a decision to go with a play-action pass and a screen there. Wow!
That is some outside-the-box thinking for sure, and... Oh man, I like the idea. But just not getting it there. And they've got to get a pick or something. They've got 3 timeouts. The 2-minute warning effectively is a 4th timeout. Oh man, Kaufman, this is so tough.
Mark Kaufman was not fooled on that play. And now you got the situation. There's still plenty of time. You got 3 minutes to go.
And right? 3 minutes to go, 3 timeouts, and the 2-minute warning. So this is it's not impossible to get a stop here. It's just very, very crucial.
If that top-ranked defense is going to show up anytime in this game, it's right now. It's
Absolutely.
Now here for the Nightwings. So let's see what that front 7 could do. Maybe they can get Parker Thomas or Lucas DeVore to make a play in the secondary if they try to throw the ball. But I'm assuming Washington is going to try to just pound this out, as it is going to be 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line. Alexander is in motion. As Utah drops back, looking into very interesting play call there, incomplete, throwing it into a crowd of Nightwings and deflected away there, Ted Haynes.
Yeah, Haynes got his hands on that one. This is exactly, Denver are going to continue to show effort every single play. I would be very surprised if they don't try to get their hands on every single ball that happens to be thrown here.
I mean, if you're not a member in this community, you're not watching this game, what are you doing if you're a member? I mean, you got to be watching this right now. Utah drops back, looking to his left. He's got to fire deep down the field. Oh, it was intercepted. It was in his hands. That was Tate Bennett, and he dropped it.
And he gets credit for the swat, but oh man, that would have been such a dangerous, because he gets that ball in his hands, he secures that. He's got enough space to get 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, and then you're in the position to manage the clock yourself.
3rd and 10. Coming back, it's going to be a toss play to the outside. Shane Kaufman, nothing, as that's going to be 4th down. And I want to see if maybe they're just going to let this run down, not use their timeouts. And, I mean, Tommy Utah gifted that to them, made a mistake, overthrowing his target, and Tank Bennett with the drop. But the defense steps up. We said the defense has to step up, Alden, they have.
And they have. They got the 3-and-out that we said was so crucial, and they've got 3 timeouts and a 2-minute warning to work with.
Jeremy Mosley with an opportunity here, breaks one tackle, breaks another, gets past the 30, and gets some excellent field position. I thought maybe they'd be back towards the 20, but Mosley makes a nice play down to the 34. So now brings out Charles Blayton in this offense. They look good, Alden, in that last drive.
Yeah, these are the moments that give you goosebumps. Some questionable uses of the play action, but manages to make it work there.
Denver was a 4.5 favorite provided by Jack's Data. They've already smashed the over at 31.5. So let's see if they can get this victory here on this last drive. 2:31 to go from the 34-yard line. All they need is a field goal. And they get hitting it off the Bailey O'Shaughnessy, goes on the left-hand side and gets 6 yards.
Yeah, and they've got to find what they're going to exploit on Washington, and they've got a very limited time to sort of probe the possible exploits here.
Charles Blanton, 10 of 18, 176 yards and a TD coming into this drive. Eye Joker set here as they're going to send Sango in motion. Sango not targeted in this game so far, and that's going to hit the 2-minute warning. And what an exciting game here in Denver. Denver with the ball, trying to take the lead in this game. We'll be right back on the Virtual Football Network. And we are back here in a very exciting game in Mile High City. Chad Rowland, Alden Bleeker in the booth, Ramos Lynn and Phil Koss in the stats truck. Cameron Irvine probably biting his fingernails watching this game, doing the production. It's going to be a handoff to Bailey O'Shaughnessy in the front 4 of the Trident. Make a big stop, 3rd down.
Yeah, it's a big stop. stop there, and man, as we said, 4-down territory all the way here. You've got your timeouts, but this is if the last drive was the last dance, this is the encore. This is your moment. This is the moment.
Yeah, 3rd and 3 here. Blanton drops back. He's going to hit Salmons. And no, what a play as he tried to spin out of it. But that was Nathaniel Diggs, the veteran, with the big stop.
Yeah, they're not using their timeouts. They don't want to give Washington a second.
It's very interesting that they're not, but this is a big play. This is it. Alden, this is it. 4th and 1. You got O'Shaughnessy in the backfield. Heavy offset eye. The blitz coming on the outside. R.E. Mills gets the first down for Denver and extends it. And they got to use a timeout here.
That is so... And they're not.
They're not. Interesting. Michael Goodman trying to be aggressive. I don't know. As I said earlier, that's a bold move, Cotton.
Try to find a mismatch and stick to that formation. They can certainly run clock.
3 wide receiver set. Blanton drops, looking over the middle, tipped away. And oh, man, that was almost intercepted. And he threw it into a crowd of Trident.
Man, so looking for an opportunity here, trying to get across the 50. If you can get across the 50, then you can take a risk with a long field goal, I think, and just try to pick up some yardage to make it happen.
44 seconds to go. The clock has stopped because of the incompletion. Bunch set. He looks quick and finds Logan Keel, and that's going to set up 3rd and 3. And while this is going on, I want to squeeze this in. Arizona takes the victory 20-7 against Pittsburgh. And the clock is running still, not using the timeouts. This is very interesting strategy here by Michael Goodman as they got to get into field goal range. That is going to be a play-action pass. It was tipped away and almost intercepted. And I think he got hit as he threw, Alden.
Yeah, definitely what it looked like. It came up a little bit loopy out of his hand there. And
wow,
man, you gotta do it. You gotta go for it. Everyone knows.
This is the game. 4th and 3, 5 wide set. Washington looking to just try to keep something in front of them if they have to take a catch. Blanton drops back, pressure getting to him, over to the outside, incomplete. Oh. That is the ball game. That is the ball game, and the play was made there. What a fantastic play. As they were going to Mosley and just hit right there at the end.
And double coverage materializes out of nowhere there. That is fantastic defensive communication from Washington. Man, and they beat a Denver team that looked very game. They started off 2-0, and as we said, the last time Denver started 2-0, they won the SFL championship back in season 16. But this Washington team is Washington.
Now they're using it.
This Washington team showing that they are no slouches by any stretch of the imagination. They may have been the dogs coming into this game, but they have shown, you underestimate us at your own peril. Great performance on the run game. Tommy Utah spreading it around to all his receivers, and this is a total team win for Washington.
Yep, and want to just chime this in here. Week 3 continues tomorrow, headlined by a playoff matchup at 1 p.m. Eastern. It's the Minnesota Legend traveling to Baltimore. Then the nightcap starting at 7:45, headlined by Sin City Samurai's home opener against the 2-0 Lexington Miners. It's football all day long right here on the virtual network. And, I mean, they used the final timeout. They're going to have to punt it away. And maybe there's a punt return?
Yeah, I was going to say, maybe I would have egg on my face. I would certainly have egg on my face if they did.
If they run a punt return, this community may just go insane. Jeremy Mosley back there trying to make this an opportunity, 6 seconds to go. This is their last shot. If they want to try something. And low snap. Man, it was recovered well as he's going to take that, and that's actually in the end zone, so they're going to down that. And I think that actually will be the ball game. And it is
3 zeros.
So Washington taking the victory here against the Nightwings, 20-18. Alden, what a fantastic game!
Yeah, absolutely. Both of these offenses performed quite well. I mean, the numbers are very equal. It came down to that big clutch touchdown by Washington, the vision by Tommy Utah to find the one receiver that was completely free and open. Washington showed a fantastic performance and showed that that win against Arizona wasn't a fluke. They're a very good team too.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Utah, 16 to 24, 197 yards, 2 TDs, including that big one at the end there to Mihata. And I got to tell you, I mean, Denver looked good. Washington looked good. Even though Denver's 2-1, these two teams look very good, very interesting. And I think the Denver media is going to be wondering about that play clock management there by Michael Goodman, but he'll have to answer that later on. But for Ramos Lynn and Phil Koss and Alden Bleeker, this is Chad Rowland telling you guys good afternoon, good evening, and we will see you later on here on the Virtual Football Network.